ladies and gentlemen, Lizzy Borden. Give it up for Lizzy Borden. They play tonight. Hot as a mother out there. I won't say what, but Lizzy out there in full garb. I mean, good golly, with the mask, the Grim Reaper mask at the very beginning. My first question to you is, how hot was that up there for you as opposed to how it was for us?
Nothing compared to last year. Last year we got dying. We had the sun and the humidity and everything. This time we just had the humidity. So it was great. I mean, you know, I did shorten the time I wore that surgery. Up until the guitar solo.
Any questions from everybody out here?
When you all started back in Hollywood in the early 80s, you had the shock rock, tease the hair up, put a little bit of makeup on, you know, have the girls pass all the flyers. What decision were you weighing back then as which way you wanted to go?
Accident. Image is concerned. And well, I mean, a lot of music.
Yeah, I just want to say, not really a question, but last year in Oklahoma, we took our son, our oldest son, our 15-year-old, he saw you covered in blood, kind of his life. Then you guys went out to the Garden of Evil. Nice to be, took pictures with us, talked to him, sat there talking to him for a good 10 minutes, made his life. And so on his behalf, thank you guys for being.
Thank you, man. I mean, we're actually we're playing Europe a lot lately, and we're seeing younger and younger fans, and you know, younger kids are, for some reason, they see in us something that they gravitate towards. We're actually having a good time. My eyes are smearing blood on the younger kids a little bit more. It's a little bit more fun.
We love that you guys are down to earth.
This is fun for us. I mean, we wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun. Everything that we do it's all about entertainment on stage and off stage. So we're, you know, we haven't really grasped the business aspect. it's still about this fun and putting on the best show that we can possibly put on in any amount of time that we can do it, wherever we are in the country. It's everything to me anyway, because even though we play songs that we've written 27 years ago or whatever, we also play, like, you know, the new album is everything. To me, I mean, I always go, you're only as good as your last single. You know, I still have that in my head, even though it's not really true as far as heavy metal bands are concerned. But for us, you know, creating new music, we were just going through the motions and not writing and creating new albums and doing, you know, and with every album we create a new show. So to me, without that, I don't even know if I'd be interested in it. You know, it's kind of a nostalgia thing for us.
Where do you call nowadays? Yeah, you were
So, you know, I thought we were always, you know, I introduce us every night as a heavy metal rock and roll band because we have a little bit of heavy metal, a little bit of rock and roll, you know, from some of the glitter rock days of the 70s. We incorporated some of that stuff in the very beginning, and the heavy metal stuff that everyone got involved in the early 80s. So we're kind of a mixture of the two, which is makes us an anomaly in this world of music, you know. And I guess we're happy to be there.
So when I saw Paul with Cancel on in 1988, and a woman spinning on a poker rack, full of blood, you can't see her look like the other one.
What's that?
They make you hard grab as far as spinning around like black you used to do with this girl.
You know what? Every time I see anyone do what we're doing, I change it and do something else. We were doing, you know, when we were at the very beginning, we started like 2 months after Lost did, way back when. And we saw they were throwing meat, but they weren't doing blood, so we were doing blood. And then when Cooper came back, he started doing kind of what we were doing, which was, you know, Freddy Krueger and all the great horror movies of the early 80s. We were doing a lot of that stuff. We were interacting, you know, reacting to a scene from a movie, you know, on stage. And when he started doing that, we took it out of our show. So I kind of try and go the other way when I see other bands kind of doing the same thing. You know, but we're a theatrical band, so we do add stuff in that is, you know, part of that. We've always kind of had blood in our show. We've always had, you know, kind of a fun, just a piece of a horror movie from, you know, the early 80s or something like that. Something fun that the audience could, you know, this is a little bit more than music.
Do you feel like, you guys said that you've been touring Europe and stuff, do you feel like the fans, how do the fans respond over there versus over here?
It's a whole different world over there. It's I mean, I keep saying it's 1987 over there, but it's really not. They're kind of taking a hold of this music and ran with it. You know, the dress, everything. They're kind of, you know, they saw how much fun that everyone was having in the early 80s, mid 80s, and you know, now they're only 19 years old, but they're totally into it. They're grasping towards whatever anybody that's doing something like that and still doing it, you know, real. I mean, we're still putting out new music. We're still doing it. It's not about just trying to make a buck. You know, we're actually trying to create something interesting and artistic. No, we never have. We always wanted to. What? Absolutely. We're playing a lot of countries that we've never played. We've always wanted to, we never have. But even on this tour coming up, starting next week, we start at the Vodka Festival in Germany. Like 100,000 people with every theatrical band in the 80s, Motley Crue, Iron Maiden, Alice Cooper, you know, everybody, Wasp, everybody in the same festival. And that's our starting point, and then we're playing until mid-September. And but yeah, I think we're doing South America for the first time, and I think we're going back to Japan. So we're playing everywhere. We love to play Australia.
People follow the season. You kind of picked up one of the hottest Canadian guitar players about a year in Dario. How's that working out so far?
It couldn't be better. I mean, he came from.
There he is. You know.
It's hard to believe he's as young as he is because he's so in tune with us. We're so, I mean, he's like, you know, we've had a zillion guitar players, you know, but every one of them, there's at least one guy who comes around who's second to none. Dario's that. He comes along, he knows exactly what we want. There's not a lot of explanation. There's not, you know, we're a theatrical band, but we also have talented musicians playing somewhat difficult, you know, material here and there, and he rises to the occasion every time. It's been a dream.
Any chance of a live album?
There's been a lot of talk of doing live DVD and that whole thing, and we're trying to do that. Trying to find out the right place, the right country, the right. I mean, we got to do something in America. I mean, we're American band, so but you know, so we're looking for the right place to do live DVD. We haven't done it. That was our second record, which was Murder's Metal Roadshow, which was everyone said, why are you releasing a live record on your second record? But we did it because it was right, and that's what we'll do the next one. here. Yeah. It's a great lineup, and it's the show we've been doing for a couple of years now. Blending and mixing and matching old material, new material. It's really, we're really capturing a new audience. We're having a ball.
Has the electronic age transformed the way you do business today?
Well, it changes the way we write music. I mean, with Pro Tools and everything, we have the option of mixing and matching and different, changing things. When we did records back then, it was blow and go. It was like, you go in the studio, we would be in the best studios in the world, but it's like, okay, this is the amount of time you have, and you have to finish this record in this amount of time. So, it doesn't matter if you were even close to finishing, you had to finish it. So we would just race through these things. With Pro Tools now, we actually perfect and, put out something that we actually believe in. Every one of the early records, I can tell you a zillion things that I would like to change about. And now when we release stuff, we're pretty close to having, as close as you can get.
Represent your theatrical band. So the advantage of the electronic age, you have to reconsider how you're going to represent yourself because there's no telling where you're going to show up on here.
Yeah, I mean, the internet is a great tool that I wish it was around in the 80s. It would have benefited us.
So what's MTV, I guess?
Yeah, we had MTV, but who knows what the ratings were really.
MTV, right?
Yeah. But I mean, the internet's great, but it's also tough because, there's a zillion things out there. To try and get yours watched, it's difficult. But, we do what we do. We try and have creative control around it, not just throw anything out there. So we actually represent ourselves the way we want to be represented. It doesn't matter if it's whatever we have to do to make that.
More conscious of your surroundings.
It does. I mean, even when we do these shows, we know everyone's filming. We know everybody's taking pictures. We know it's like, they have still the same rule of all photographers only shoot 3 songs. But really, it doesn't even matter because everyone else is shooting. So we might as well just shoot the whole show. Especially some of our more fun stuff happens, in the middle of the set.
Now, I saw a show a couple years ago with Lincoln Park. Somebody said, show your liners and 8,000 cell phones went up in the air.
Yeah, it's a whole different ballgame. You have to adapt to it or die, Some of the stuff is really good that we like, and some of the stuff is you have to watch out for.
You guys just kind of get together so they can take some pictures of you?
Well, let me introduce the band anyway. We got AC Alexander on guitar, Dario Lorena on guitar, Martin Anderson on bass, Joey Scott on the drums.
2 lovely ladies.
And Steffi and Aaron are dancers.